So there's a small YouTube channel named Pegasus, and he posts on a small YouTube channel named MorePegasus. And this guy, oh boy, he milks so much controversy that had he been around when the Dream Stands were around, the Dream Stands would probably cease to exist due to the fact that their fathers came back with the milk and cigs. But anyways, MorePegasus has been known for making an excessive amount of videos on MrBeast, KSI, Logan Paul, Jack Doherty, and just anyone you can imagine who's recently been in controversy in the last 6 months, or a little bit further if you want to look back. He's known for absolutely destroying the udders of all the cows he milks, and yet he still stores any dribble he can muster from those sweet, sweet ubres. And besides that, there's other reasons why I don't really like him, so let's just hop right into this. So first off, let's start off with the milking allegations, which are not allegations, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Around 5 months ago, on August 16, 2024, you said that you were not milking the situation because, and this is going to be a horrible definition that he gives, the definition that he gives is, and the reason why he thinks he's not milking it, is when you take a situation that has already fully developed and you are continuously talking about it, you are still trying to make something out of it in order to get views.
This is not what milking means, okay? Milking is when you take a situation that's already sort of over and then you create drama out of nothing, right? Maybe you see like one tweet and you make an entire 20-minute video out of it when that wasn't really necessary, right? That is milking a situation. And I've obviously done that in the past, but that's not what I did in the MrBeast situation, okay?
Okay, well, by that definition, you are milking your content. You are still milking MrBeast because you are still taking the situation of them destroying their own careers, like the topic in and of itself, and you are continuously making videos out of it. So, by your own definition as well, you are still technically milking it. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say, oh yeah, no, he's not milking it by his definition. Let's just ignore all of reality for a second here. According to the Urban Dictionary, which is not a good source in and of itself because, you know, we already know that the Urban Dictionary is just a meme, but it says milking means to exploit or to take too much of it. You are continuously making videos out of it. You are taking way too much of that source of information and you are making so many videos out of it. You're exploiting it. You're literally exploiting it. According to Cambridge Dictionary, which is a much more credible source, it means to get as much money or information out of someone or something as possible, often in an unfair and dishonest way. And we'll see the dishonesty in a bit, but we can all agree it's a little bit unfair how this guy's literally breaking YouTube terms of service in terms of making spam content and all that other stuff on the same topic, which is the same person. And according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, milking means as in exploiting, to take unfair advantage of, and you are taking obviously unfair advantage of the topic of KSI, Logan Paul, and MrBeast. You are continuously making videos out of them, you are just slightly changing the title, slightly changing the thumbnail, and then you're throwing in completely different things, and this is where the dishonesty comes in. Let's take a look at a video that he uploaded approximately 3 days ago, February 12, 2025. KSI has officially ruined his reputation. If you click on the video, you would assume, oh, KSI probably did something with Lunchly, right? You would assume so because KSI is one of the 3 big dogs in terms of Lunchly and stuff like that. You would assume, oh, he probably did something really stupid. But no, the whole topic of KSI ruining, quote-unquote, his reputation is just him challenging Dylan Dennis. And that doesn't really ruin his reputation. If anything, that builds up his reputation because he is fighting a douchebag scammer who's also been exposed by CoffeeZilla and Oompaville. Another thing that makes those videos so dishonest is that he's just, at this point, he's keeping track of everything that these guys do. Mainly Logan Paul, MrBeast, and KSI. Well, not as much Logan Paul, but, you know, the other two, MrBeast and KSI. He is constantly making videos on their activities instead of the bad things they actually do.
In fact, people are literally calling him the Black Jake Paul, which is possibly the worst insult anyone could ever say.
But he talks about how KSI challenges a guy whose kids look up to him and also his ex-wife cheating on him or something like that. I don't know. But he spent 16 minutes just talking about that. And if you're going to be covering news and using KSI's name, then you better talk about KSI. But you better talk about it in a way where people get what they came for, no more than what they came for, so that way they don't have to hit 50 ads along the way while watching the entire video. That just doesn't really make any sense. That's just something that you shouldn't really be doing, because that's obviously breaking YouTube terms of service, and you're also just flooding the YouTube algorithm and your audience's notifications with mindless bullcrap. No audience wants to see the same guy talk about the same 3 people for 42 different videos in a row. Like, the only reason why you still have an audience is because you're using popular names. That's really about it. You're not really adding anything new other than a few mediocre jokes at best, and at worst, a whole bunch of babbling gibberish just to pad the runtime, so that way your audience can hit as many ads as possible. And that's just not a good way to run a YouTube channel, man. And sure, have I milked people? Yeah, I've talked about Darman a lot. The next thing that comes to mind is MorePegasus. And then after that, the Lunchley situation, and those 3 people, but I made like 4 videos talking about them at most. And they were spanned throughout like 6 months. So, well, not 6 months, probably around like 3 to 4 months, maybe a little bit more than that. But you get the idea. There are certain intervals where it's acceptable to make another video follow-up, but instead, you're just pumping out all this slop that is just flooding your audience, and it's just not a good thing, obviously. Another thing that I want to talk about is MorePegasus' hypocrisy when it comes to talking about insults and slurs and stuff like that. So, in the video he uploaded January 15, 2025, the Dream and Tommy Innit situation just got worse. He says, and I quote, "If I just call people absolutely brain dead or mentally handicapped and show a bunch of images of Wojaks that are not very nice, that's pretty much arguably worse than what Dream did over here."
For example, if I just call people absolutely brain dead or mentally handicapped and show a bunch of images of Wojaks that are not very nice, that's pretty much arguably worse than what Dream did over here.
But in a video he uploaded November 8, 2024, in the video called "Logan Paul Just Responded in the Dumbest Way," number 14. I don't know what's up with these numbers. He's probably numbering the amount of videos he's made on a certain person. But anyways, he says, and I quote, "Isn't it saying something that your only positive comments are coming from TikTok, the most brain-dead, actual, like, mentally deficient platform of them all, and that's the only place where you can convince anyone you're correct?"
Isn't it saying something that your only positive comments are on TikTok, the most brain-dead, actual, like, mentally deficient platform of them all, and that's the only place where you can convince anyone you're actually correct?
Isn't that saying something? And let me be honest here. I don't see a problem with calling people brain dead. I do see a problem with calling people the R slur, but I don't see a problem with calling people brain dead. Because at some point, there's just something like saying brain dead, like that shouldn't have to be a slur. Because that is a medical term and we can't really say that. Who knows? Maybe that'll change in the future. But for now, I don't really see a problem with calling people brain dead. But the problem is that MorePegasus is trying to take this high ground of being the arbiter of justice or whatever, when not even 3 months ago from the time the video was uploaded, he turns around and does the exact thing he condemns. And that's just such a really weird and two-faced lie that I spotted in MorePegasus' videos. And again, I'm not saying it's not okay to call people brain dead because, you know, number one, that's a medical term. Number two, that's just an insult. And if used in a funny manner and makes people laugh, I don't really see a problem with that. But he's just trying to take the moral high ground, and I just don't really like that at all. And I don't like it when people pretend to be this arbiter of justice. And I'm not saying that I'm the arbiter of justice. Like, hell no, I'm not, like, you know, the best guy on earth. But it's just, there's a blatant two-faced thing when it comes to MorePegasus, and that's just something that rubs me the wrong way. Also, I'll be straight honest with you, I don't really have any other examples of MorePegasus being a hypocrite, but I mean, that's just the one that I was able to find, because, I'm not watching all that stuff. I'm really lazy. I don't want to watch all that stuff, especially because I recently made an Alan Chicken Chow video, and that's already mentally exhausted me, but I wanted to get another video out there because that video isn't doing too well because I age restricted it. So if you're over the age of 18, please give the video support, pretty please. Thank you. And the reason why I talk about him milking and his integrity first before I actually get into the real stuff is because, first of all, I wanted to talk about why the milking is bad and, the whole hypocrisy thing. I also wanted to get that out of the way first. And so that way I can talk about just MorePegasus and the problem with him milking it. And honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the reason why people aren't taking MrBeast drama as seriously is because of people like MorePegasus. They are diluting the entire situation to the point where people are more distracted at the memes of MrBeast drama rather than the actual severity of MrBeast drama. And I feel like MorePegasus is one of the main perpetrators of this problem. And honestly, I don't really know what to do. I mean, other than to flag his videos as spam or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like when MorePegasus is milking MrBeast, it really just took away from the allegations in total because this is an unarguable point. This is an actual fact. It's that MorePegasus was one of the main contributors to MrBeast memes. And that kind of in turn just made everyone not take MrBeast drama seriously, and that's why I feel as if MorePegasus is not really a good guy. Another problem I have with MorePegasus is that he tends to say things without showing any evidence for it. So, for example, in a video he uploaded on November 8th, 2024 called Logan Paul Just Responded in the Dumbest Way, number 14, which is probably the 14th video he's made on Logan Paul, he says that KSI was caught in a call talking about a MrBeast challenge when he was talking about how KSI never cheated in the MrBeast videos. Yeah, he just doesn't really show evidence for that. He just says, weren't you caught in a call talking about the MrBeast challenge before it actually happened? And then he just moves on from that and assumes that's true. That's just not something that he should be doing. If he's going to be covering things like news and stuff like that, he should probably be showing evidence for it. And unlike him, I'm going to be showing evidence for it, so here you go.
Wasn't KSI like caught in a video talking about one of the challenges in a MrBeast video ahead of time? Now, that's not Logan, obviously, but also KSI and Logan are like pretty much best buddies here. So if KSI knows, I mean, what are the chances that you don't know as well? Not to mention, you three are in.
But if one example isn't enough, then how about a second one? So, for example, in the video, the Dream and Tommy Innit situation just got worse, which is something that I already mentioned earlier. He talks about how, oh, I've talked to a few commentary channels. They're flipping slurs like Krabby Patties. Number one, I don't think that's something you should be saying to downplay Dream, because to me it seems in the video of the Dream and Tommy Innit situation, you're mainly siding with Dream because Tommy Innit has been doing things without showing evidence, which is pretty ironic considering this is coming from MorePegasus. But anyways, in the video you said, oh, content creators are flipping slurs like Krabby Patties, it's no big deal. Yes, slurs are a pretty big freaking deal because you are giving them labels that make them inferior. You are making groups of people inferior, therefore you are, well, in this case, when you're saying that it's completely fine, it's probably ableist in this context.
Over extremely dumb shit like this. But listen, I've talked to a lot of these content creators in private, not Dream in particular, but most of these people in private are flipping slurs like SpongeBob flips Krabby Patties. It is a fake public persona.
Now look, I have Dream blocked.
And yeah, that's all I really have to say about MorePegasus. Yeah, so basically TLDR, he is a big hypocrite. He tends to say things without showing evidence, and he milks the absolute crap out of MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI, to the point where I can honestly say that it's actually spam content to an extent. But anyways, yeah, that's all I really have to say. I don't really know what my next video is going to be on. I'm probably actually just going to take a little bit of a layback, just stop exposing people for one video, and I'm just gonna react to some SS Sniper Wolf content. Maybe, I don't know. something to that extent, or I'm just gonna react to a channel that I haven't watched in a while, and I'm just gonna react to them and make fun of them. That's all I really have to say. I hope you all have a good day, and bye.